Hi there. So this is going to be a different one. This is actually one of my rare pre-tape ones that I've actually been working on for a while. And honestly, this was originally meant to be a live stream, but a little bit of backlash when I did my last Doctor Who video as a live stream. So I decided to just like kind of make this one and upload it and see how it goes. And I'm a huge fan of Doctor Who. It's something that I don't mind putting out there. It's been the show that I've watched ever since I've been a little kid, and it was one of the reasons that I went into acting in the first place. But it was also one of the reasons that I didn't end up going into acting in the latter place. But right now, what I want to talk about is the latest Doctor Who, the latest series. Now, it was initially a controversial series and a controversial decision. So there was a lot of things they had to do to kind of like to win people over to what was said, to change the doctrine in such a dramatic way. Now I think that most people that actually watch the show would say, yeah, Whittaker, yeah, she did a good job with so we were kind of won over that way. We did like Whittaker. However, there were a lot of issues with the last series of Doctor Who. A lot of issues. So there's a few things that I think they could do to make it better. And here's my little list. I haven't done a list video in a while of ways to make. I'm not going to say gradient. Ways to steer the course to make Doctor Who a fun show to watch. Now, for me, far and large, there's a few things that are missing that I really think need to be fixed. And one of the biggest things is last season was really missing the arc. Remember the days of like both Harry Saxton and Bad Wolf and the crack in time, or the return of Davros. They built to those. There's a building place for all of that stuff. And if, say, for instance, one or two episodes seemed a little bit weaker, you kind of wanted to stay because there was that overarching storyline. There's that thing that you wanted to know. The last series, there was really nothing that you wanted to know. It was a huge disappointment when, albeit a decent looking villain that comes up at the first episode, just randomly appears again in the last one because reasons. That really doesn't work, especially when you're trying to make the show accessible and watchable to a lot of people. You got to give them a reason to watch it. You can't just stick things on a wall and say, here it is, here's this. Next, the TARDIS was very full. Very full. So we have Yaz, who at this point really hasn't done much. And it's not really her fault. It's not that the actress is bad. It's that the writing is pretty bad. We have somebody that is that's a police officer, for crying out loud, in the TARDIS. So you would expect maybe they'll take advantage of that and have more action-oriented sequences for somebody like Yaz. She's trained. This is what she can do. Often when the Doctor was an older character, like with a Hartnell or someone like that, basically what you'd get is you'd have like a younger person or one of the guys, one of the younger girls, like the Zoes or the or just the younger people that did a lot of the action oriented sequences. She's kind of seems like she's been put in there for that style of role, but they really haven't done anything with it. They haven't used it. It's a bit of a waste. Most of the scene stealing, it goes to Bradley Walsh, and I'll be honest with you, it's deserved. He acts up a storm within the show, but the show is called Doctor Who. What we really need to do is kind of like, let's cut down a bit on the amount of companions that are there. Maybe we got to do an Adric or something like that. Maybe we got to Earthshock this thing up. Just saying. Next up, less things written by Chibnall. I'm not sure if you guys are noticing this with the episodes or not, but when you get the weakest episodes, they're usually written by Chibnall. That's something. Anyway, next. What they should have done, the biggest mistake they made last season was they brought in a new doctor. They brought in new companions. It was supposed to be a kind of a big starting point. But here's the thing: when you make a new series of Doctor Who, especially if you're going to make a series that's going to be kind of mired in like silly controversy and stuff like that, what you have to do, and this is what pretty much the classic series did right. What a lot of the doctors did, pretty much all the doctors I can think of did, was aside from putting their stamp with a new villain or something, you would say, okay, we're doing something different. Let's get as many classic villains to make an appearance as possible, so we can cement the personality of this Doctor and of this new crew, this new TARDIS. That's a huge thing. That's something that really, in my opinion, has to it has to be done. The Doctor, we got our first Dalek episode in January. That was the first Dalek, and that was glorious. Actually, that was a really, really well done Dalek episode. It did something different. It made the Daleks. Well, I'll get it out. Daleks seem scary and frightening and creepy and all that. Again, all the things you want to see, but we should not have had to wait till after a complete series, till a New Year's special comes up to get that done. No, you start with something strong like that. You don't end with something strong like that when there's a possibility that you might have already lost some viewers. You may have lost a few viewers because what are you doing? Define the Doctor. Define who the Doctor is in this incarnation. You haven't really done that. We know she makes stuff, and we know she's very hyper. I'm a hyper person. I make videos. That doesn't mean you know everything about me, and it shouldn't. But I'm not Doctor Who. The Doctor, you should know more about this Doctor. This Doctor has gone through a massive change. You can't coddle that. You can't be like, okay, well, some people are upset about the fact that the Doctor, is a female now. You can't just say, okay, well, since they're a little upset about it, we won't talk about that. We'll just do a kind of we'll mention it, but we don't want to go in there because we don't want to be considered, oh, it's political or it's, I don't, any of that stuff. No, if you're going to put that out there, if you're going to do that, and I think it's an intriguing story arc to do. This is it's huge. It may not be huge for the Doctor because it may not matter in Gallifrey. That's not a big deal, but it's obviously going to affect the way some people respond to the Doctor. Face that head on. Make the Doctor have to deal with that a bit more. It's okay. It is okay to address the elephant in the room when for some people it's an elephant in a room. It's not going to go away by you just saying, well, it is what it is. No, it's a plot point that I think is an interesting one that you can build on, that you can use. Man, my hair is so messy for this video. Let's get a bigger. Let's have a big villain next season, next series, please for series 12. I don't care. Bring back the Rani. Perfect time for the Rani. Regenerate the Master. Do something with the Cybermen. Nothing except for the Cybermen at the end of Peter Capaldi's era, and really that turned out not to be as extensive as I wanted it to be, but at least they were scary and different. We haven't gotten a good Cyberman story in all of New Who. We haven't gotten an Earthshock. Hell, we haven't even gotten a Revenge of the Cybermen storyline level for me, apparent in all of New Who. And I'm a huge Cyberman fan. Those were the guys that scared me. Daleks, good episodes, not scary for me. The idea of the Cybermen and what they did, that freaked me out. And I was all on board sort of with the new look of the Cybermen, and I thought, well, that's an interesting take. It's not what I would have done, but it's an interesting take to do with Doctor Who. But but you got to follow it up. You got to do something with that. You can't just say, oh, this is just an alternate universe thing. We'll come back to this. And then when you show them again, then, oh, look, it's the Cybermen. But there's also Daleks. They're the real threat. Don't worry about the Cybermen. There's Daleks here. Or like, the Cybermen are back again. But the Master's here. The Master is the real threat. It's not the Cybermen. It's the Master. That's who the threat is. Let the Cybermen be a threat. The Cybermen have gone down as being one of the main series villains that actually got away with it. They got a companion killed. Spoiler alert for a show that was done in the 80s, but in Earthshock, Adric dies directly because of the Cybermen. The episode is they do such an epic job with the episode that at the end of the episode, when the music normally plays, they just show Adric's broken badge that he has, and no music, nothing plays, just the credits roll. That's epic. That's the way to do the Cybermen right. They haven't been done right in a while. So that's what I think we can do to actually fix up Doctor Who. Please listen. Doctor Who writers, please, Chibnall, understand that you need an arc. You need to do an arc. You need to have an arc. I would say you need more episodes. You need like 10 to, we need like, let's go back to the 13 episodes. I'm okay with it. Doing 13 episodes and putting that 40 to 44 minutes. That's okay. Do a couple two-parters. Have a storyline. Have an intriguing thing. Do a Moffat or a Davis where basically something comes up big. We know it. Maybe the Doctor doesn't know it. Maybe the companions don't. Maybe it's like the Crack, or maybe it's not. Maybe it's Vote Harry Saxon. But it's something that we see. It's something that we know going through is going to pay off. There has to be something for us to be waiting for. There has to be a kernel of that we want to wait for the payoff. I want to know this Doctor. I want to fall in love with this Doctor the way that I was able with the other Doctors. Let me learn more about the Doctor. Pare down who's in the TARDIS. And if you can't do that, then just have a couple. Because right now what you're doing is what they did in the Peter Davison era, where basically the Doctor would go out and there'd be one or two companions, then somebody would be off, like either back in the TARDIS or over with a B storyline that nobody cared about. No, pare down the TARDIS. Trim the fat. Even if you have a couple of them like go missing or have to do something, and so you're with the Doctor has like one companion or two companions, and maybe those other companions can come back for like an epic season ender, kind of like they did when they brought all the companions back during David Tennant's era. So, there's a possibility there, but right now, too many in the TARDIS. It's not a house party. It's a sci-fi series. Let's have fun with it. Let's see a lot more classic villains. Let's see an overarching storyline. Let's see less companions. Let's see Yaz actually use the fact that she's a detective, a police officer, and maybe see some more action-oriented storylines. Cut down a bit on all the on the talky stuff, and give us a bit more action with this one. Let's just have fun. Let's make Doctor Who fun to watch. I am Aaron. This is my movie library, and for me right now, this is what you need to do. So Doctor Who can be fun. You want to gain more viewers? You don't need to, just make everything new so that everybody can get in. People want to have a reason to come in. They're not just going to come in, oh, it's Doctor Who, I think I'll watch this now. It's new villains. No, they want a reason to come in. Give them a reason to want to go back and look earlier at some of that early stuff, because that's what's going to get people. If you do an episode with a Dalek or Cyberman or the Master, and it's really good, then people that are watching that episode, they're going to want to go back and kind of learn more about that particular villain. Maybe they want to go back and see his or her appearances in New Who. Maybe they'll want to go back and see like a classic one. Maybe they'll say, I really, really, really like that Sontaran episode you did. I'm going to go out and get this Sontaran box set, and plus I'm going to watch all those new Who episodes, Sontaran episodes that were really good. Anyway, that's me. That's my thoughts. Let me know what you think of this video. like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, because every once in a while I'm going to come down here and I'm going to rant. And this is my Doctor Who rant. Doctor Who, you can do better.